Hey YouTube, I hope you can ignore some of the background noises. My roommates are just waking up now, so yeah, how about another update? Now, Agent of Doubt was falsely flagged recently. I know I might be kind of late on this, but yeah, he was falsely flagged by someone named Pure Paranormal, who I've honestly never heard of, so I'd appreciate it if you guys went over to his channel, sub to him, faved his videos, and show him some support. Oh, I found something interesting about the university that I'm attending. There's actually a really large Catholic population here, and I didn't know that until I just read this itinerary and saw like a very large number of these programs being held by this Campus for Christ. Hmm, interesting. But even more interesting, there's an atheist club, and there's a Hug an Atheist event held on Tuesday. I'll be sure to attend that. On to the topic of today's video, which I guess you guys can probably figure out from the title, is about the whole statement that there are no atheists in foxholes. And I say this is a statement and not an argument because there's really no point that the opposition is trying to make when they say that there are no atheists in foxholes. Now, for some of you at the back of the class, or for those of you who can't figure out what this means, this is essentially a non-atheistic person saying that if an atheist is caught in either a traumatic or a very life-changing event, um, then they will not be an atheist anymore because it is the default position for someone to believe in God or a God if they are in a deep amount of emotional turmoil. Now, the most common way to refute this statement is that there is absolutely no proof to back it up. There are plenty of atheists who have died atheists. There are plenty of atheists who might have converted into a religion or two, but there is definitely no correlation between an atheist becoming someone religious because of a life-changing event. Many of my fellow atheists on YouTube will attempt to refute this statement by providing a whole list of quote unquote life changing events that they've been through and how they stuck through it and retained their lack of belief in a God. Now, unfortunately for me, I have a very, very, very short list of life changing experiences, and they don't even qualify as traumatic. So I think I'll take a rather unconventional approach in addressing this common creationist claim and ask my detractors who believe this statement, why does it matter? Especially to you. You take the side that there is a God, that God does exist, and that he does affect the world around us. Now, if a lot of people who believed in God, like you, were in fact atheists at one point in time who just decided to either pussy out because they're afraid of punishment, or decided that they wanted reward, or that because they had such a life-changing event that essentially it affected their judgment, why is that something you want to boast about? I don't know, I'm not religious, but if I was, I would rather more people believe the same things I did because they saw the evidence and they accepted that there was a God based on that evidence rather than just accepting God out of fear of punishment or wanting to seek reward or because their emotional judgment was just all messed up because of some life-changing event. I know many Christians, of course, who do not follow this whole "there are no atheists in foxholes" bullshit. But for those who do, yeah, I kind of have to say that you are essentially admitting to the rest of the world that you don't give a shit if you manipulate someone who is clearly not in the emotional state to be making such giant decisions about what they believe in. While I'm at it, I might as well address the whole deathbed conversion thing. Um, Creationists, especially anti-evolutionists, who happen to be creationists will often charge that Darwin recanted on his deathbed and begged Jesus for mercy. There's absolutely no evidence to support this assertion. I don't know who the hell made that up, but apparently it's spreading like wildfire amongst my detractors who might be a bit less educated than some of my smarter audience members. But I find that really disrespectful. Like, if you didn't believe in a God, why would you want someone to say at your funeral that you believed in God? I mean, just think about it for a minute, Christians. If you got some Muslim to come up at your funeral and say, "Oh, don't worry, little Christian Johnny died a Muslim. He just begged Allah for forgiveness and hoped that Allah would let him into Muslim heaven with the 72 virgins." Like, how would you feel if you were a devout Christian and someone defiled your funeral like that? Now, as for me, I'm an atheist. I probably will die as an atheist until I see some pretty convincing evidence otherwise. So I would want to be acknowledged and respected as such at my funeral, that I died as an atheist. I don't want some stupid old geezer to come up at my funeral and go, "Oh, well, don't worry, he accepted Jesus at the last possible second, so his soul is with God now." Like, I don't want him to say that just to appease my Christian family. I want them to know that if I died as an atheist, I died as an atheist. And seriously, if any idiot decides to come up at my funeral and mess it up like that, I'm going to reach up from the depths of hell and drag them down with me. So to summarize, first of all, I don't know why you guys like to brag about how there are no atheists in Foxholes, because that's a terrible non-argument that you shouldn't be using to try and convince people to follow through with your religion. Don't be a douche and don't disrespect Darwin. Don't disrespect anyone who's an atheist and died as an atheist by saying that they just repented at the last possible second, because it doesn't say anything except the fact that you are a douche. So don't do it. And finally, once again, I'd like to ask you guys to please subscribe to Agent of Doubt. So, thanks for watching, and may the truth always be heard. Peace out.